I was just sitting here really thinking as I'm doing. I got like this little clothes rack thing for my new clothes I'm putting in there. And I was just noticing something. I just ran across this video and this guy was doing like this dishwasher thing. And I was like, damn, I used to do that. That's crazy that he's doing the dishwashing thing for like the restaurants and stuff. And so like God has been taking me back to certain events in my life that I done overcame. But it's like certain things he wanted me to see the pattern in, right? So that it can be corrected. And so one of the things that was big in my life is like when I start working at a job or any job, I don't care what job it is, got my ear itching, that a lot of people would try to compete. But as I was saying, my video had cut off. A lot of people were used to try to compete with me, but then I just didn't see it. And it took for me to be at the job that I'm at now. And for me to see that small video, for it to click in my head, right? Like what be actually going on. And like the favor that's over your life and that been over your life, right? And sometimes God will shield things because you don't be strong enough mentally, physically, emotionally to handle certain things. That's like, when you spiritually grow, heal, and evolve, you're able to handle in that stage in your life, right? God was just shielding me, shielding me, shielding me. And see, like he's taking me back to how he would shield me and how I always been blessed, right? And so God would allow certain things to affect you in certain areas in your life so you can see it and move away from it, because it also has something to do with like self-worth. And God has been working on me with that for like really, really all my life, but really, really heavy within the last 3 years, And it took for me to have a son to understand true love. Like I got a daughter and I know what love is, but I had her so young, right? So she was like a little baby doll to me, like my little sister for real. And I just knew I had to protect her and care for her. But with my son, I had him a little bit later and he ended up passing away from SIDS, right? But I got to understand what a pure true love is. And so with that being said, like a lot of us, we love ourselves. We love ourselves. Oh, I love me, girl. Oh, I'm taking care of me. But the physical things is not love, right? You have to have that genuine love. And if you don't know what genuine love is, then, and you never been showed genuine love, that's my period. But how could you ever know what love is, right? How could you show yourself love when you never been loved properly or in any aspect of your life? And so when I had my son, God was able to actually show me what love is, and so that I can apply it in every area of my life, right? And so it took for me just to see like this video of this guy washing these dishes, right? And it took me to an old job that I had. And in this old job, like they had me in a certain area, right? And then there was this Chinese guy who came in and he took over that area, and then they put me in a new area. But then I didn't see it, right? And so now it brings me back up to now. Like the job that I'm in now, it's a lot of competing going on. But what's crazy is like the competing, I don't know if it's on my face over there, but it's something, it's like, it's really bad, like the competing. And there's people who like actually lazy in their own individual lives, but your light bothers them. And so like right now I work in a factory, and so everybody in there is lazy. They be in their own, they just doing their own thing, right? But like, so me, like most people when they work in factories, if you have any type of downtime, a lot of people try to hide, right? And me, I'm so ADHD that I can't hide. I gotta find something to do. And so normally what I'll do is like I'll sweep or something like that, clean up the areas, go from place to place, seeing if people need help. And it blows me how many people are in actual that would get in their competitive mind state to she's sweeping, let me pick up a broom. Oh, she's doing her job, let me do my job. Like this is so bad. And so I'm like, why is these people all trying to compete with me? Like they put me on a forklift, everybody else want to learn. Me, pick me. And so what happens is that the supervisors see that you're a good worker, but they're intimidated by you as well. And so they want to keep you in a low level position. And so what they'll do is start to make these false scenarios about you and your character so you cannot go to the next level because they want these positions. And that's fine because you're going to always be in that position. You understand? That is their life. And that's okay for them, but it's not okay for me. And see, when God's trying to catapult you somewhere else, he'll allow a lot of chaotic things to happen to catapult you in a different direction. And see, that's what's happening. But so like, it's all these pick me mentalities all of a sudden. Everybody want to be the best at their job. And so the supervisor sees this, the people in the front office see this, the owners and the managers, they see this, and they like, wow, all of them was just lazy as hell. And she come in and she's doing her job and everybody wants to compete. Woo, let's take this up a notch. And so now what they're doing is they're creating a hostile work environment. Right? And so you got all these pick me's who ain't getting a cent more, going above and beyond. And so I was like, why all of a sudden? What the hell is going on in here? And plus we have to say like the doppelganging, you know, the payouts that they get to do these type of things to you as well. And so when I seen that dishwashing video, I'm like, it came to me that when they had moved me over to another area, this was years and years ago. This was one of like my second jobs I ever had. When they moved me, they put the Chinese guy in his position, and he's like running around like a chicken with his head cut off. And I used to try to give him tips. He was like a little geek, and I would try to give him tips. But then I didn't look at it as competition. But God took me back there because it's always been this competitive mind state, and people seeing you work like this, and they will use you to cause other people to work, but don't want to give you what it is that you're worth. Don't want to put you in these higher positions, and will actually pick at any little thing that you do to keep you in that lower level position when they lazy as well too. They're conning too. They're underhanded and tactful as well. But like I said, it don't matter because for God to be bringing, when God get to a point where he's showing you these things, right, bringing these type of things to the forefront, that means for one that you're ready for your next level. And for two, God wants you to see that so that you can stop the pattern. Even if somebody is at the cause of somebody else's hands, you have to be the one to stop the cycle and the pattern. And that's when they're forming the love for yourself and not stooping down to society's norms, right? Because we in this society we need money to survive and but see, when you connected to the Most High God, he will make a way. And I noticed, I bullcrap you not. I don't do illegal nothing. I don't play like that. I ain't willing to do the time. But when I tell y'all that in every aspect of my life, I have been more provided for not working than I was working. It might not have been a whole bunch, but God put me in a place where I was able to make a way, and he positioned people in my life to where, they made stuff shake for me. People talk to you and they like your personality, and it's, hey, what can we do for you? We here to service you. Just from the way you talk in your favor. And what happens is when God put people in your life to help you, they start to get jealous of your abundance in the position that they're like, okay, for instance, say if you go apply for some benefits, right? And this person is placed in front of you to help you, and they know that they're there to help you. And what happens is they'll begin to help you. But as you sitting there waiting for the help, what happens is they start to analyze your hair, and their human is kicking in, and your feet and your nails and your teeth and the way you blink your one eye twice. And then they want to do what God told them to do. And so now they're in trouble with the Most High God. And then you got those around you who are slandering and gossip and lying all on you behind your back. And they know that you're blessed too. And so what they're doing is using somebody close to you, maybe a child or ex-lover or a lover at the time, to give them information on you, find out what type of companies you going to and all this type of stuff. Or you got friends who you trying to help out as well, and they in the background giving out your name, trying to destroy the blessing that God got for you. And that's why they say you cannot let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. You cannot reveal to the enemy what you got going on, what they call monitoring spirits and all hovering spirits and stuff like that nature. And there's so many more other names for it, but I'm not gonna go there. But in this season, it does not matter what people do. They can try to stand in your way all they want. in this season, it's a lot of things being brought to the forefront. It's a lot of old memories coming back up because God wants you to deal with it and handle. But anyways, God is also trying to catapult you into a different timeline. But he don't want you to forget where you came from. And if you ever get in them positions in your life that you know how to handle and deal with them immediately. But the fact that I realize and recognize that just from seeing that, and see, you have to understand when you working on yourself, you growing, you healing, and you evolving, you know, they always say that the next level bring new devils, right? The start getting trickier. But the thing about it is that you're more equipped. It's like the Super Mario game I was saying in another video. For every level, you got more things to equip you, right? You beat this level, you grow bigger. You beat that level, you got this new tool in there to defeat that, right? And so a lot of that is going on. And so now for a lot of us, it's time for us to go to our next levels. But God is also bringing things up to the forefront for us to handle and deal with. So we are not letting things like that back around us. And when he put you in certain positions, because the devils are in them positions as well, when he put you in a new position and take you to a new place, you know immediately that that's what it is. So God is bringing up these tests, and some of it's at the form of old friends, old exes, but it's not just that. It's even in old behavior patterns, right? Things that he shielded you from, where he put a veil up for you to see. Okay, do she recognize that? I don't care if it's a video to come across your phone that clicks something in your head and it trickles every memory behind that for it to come up to the forefront for you to handle that before you go into your new phase. But I'm going to say this before I get off of here. Congratulations for y'all who made it to the next level. See, God told me to do something and I'm in here doing it. And that's another thing. Follow God's instructions. Love y'all. Holler at y'all later. And have a good day, night, or wherever you are in the world. Mwah. And I had to also get back on here and say one more thing, too, that God told me to say. Right now, you know how a lot of people, we was going through tests, but I wouldn't initially call them tests because it's like some people got stuff owed to them spiritually and physically, right? And so you got a lot of people that's behind the scenes that is trying to stop you from receiving your blessing. Family members, exes, kids, all of it. I don't care who it is. Cats, dogs. Because when the thing about it is, and I say kids because when they are of the world, people are of the world, and you are spiritually growing, healing, and evolving again, they trying to stay on that vibration. They already made a choice. And the reason why I'm able to say that they already made a choice because a lot of this stuff been going on in your life for a long time, and a lot of it has been at the hands of them. Your friends, your family members, your ex-friends now, ex-lovers it should be, and even your kids, they done put your kids in on it, right? And so it's like a lot of them are still going, and God has gave them warnings to stop doing what it is that they're doing to you. And so like everybody heart in the middle of this chaos within the last couple years, all the way probably from the beginning of till you walked out of the house on your own and to make a way for you and your kids, they have been warned to stop then. But God has gave them a long time to correct a lot of things, what it is that they doing. Somewhere in there, they got the notification to turn around and go about their way. And so a lot of them chose to continue to attack you and to pull other brand new people in as well, right? And so they keep going, right? But don't worry about that. Because you are protected. Continue to do your cleansing and your healing and continue to move forward, and God will protect you, and continue to pray. They still doing things. Believe that. Everybody, including the jobs, they're going to go all the way into the end. But the thing about it is, like I said, you're coming into your blessings. This is the time. And you know, it'll be a lot of people like, oh, it's the time for this and it's the time for that. You ain't seen nothing. You in weary like a mug still right now. Like, what? How many times do I got to hear this? But when I tell y'all that we are, God's people is on the brink of their blessings. When they say the first shall be last and the last be first, we are in the era of it. So y'all just hold on and do not fall into their traps, because they are so mad right now that they're failing, that they're literally trying to set up traps. You got people recording you, audio recording you for you. Like they've been fighting for your blessings behind the scene. Come on now. And you got people doing a lot of things right now. So the best thing to do is stay secluded, stay in your area. Hey, and put your harness on. Put your harness on that says caution. Caution with the wind. If you come by me, you might get blew away. You understand? See, when you protected by God, they got to do what they're doing from afar. They're cowards. And so you are covered in ways that when I tell you that you are, as long as you don't play that game, you are so covered that a person could walk up to you and pull out one on you and it blow back on them. You hear me? They can pull one out on you, point it towards you, pull it, and it will blow back on them, facing you. You understand me? That's how covered some of God's people are right now. It'll malfunction on them. And so, long as you don't play that game, understand that. You got a lot of people sending out spiritual attacks. I'm one of the ones who, when people send out, I can feel it. But God, I kept praying and saying, God, why am I feeling this? What's going on? Why are you? And I was looking at it wrong, and God kept giving me the word of perception, and I wasn't catching on. Y'all, it took me a couple months to catch on. I was freaking out. I'm like, God, I'm in here quoting the scriptures. Like, God, you said it'd come near my doorstep, and it won't touch me, but it's touching me. I need to understand why it's touching me. And one day I was laying in the bed, and I kept hearing perception. Y'all, I went to cut the lights off, and I went to lay down. And I'm a person that be up all night in prayer. And so I went to lay to finally got done praying and talking to God, and I be in my own world with God. And I went to turn the lights off, and I felt this attack, and I sat up in the bed. And when I went to say something to God, I heard perception again. And I'm like, what is he talking about, perception? I ain't no perception to this, God. You said it'd come near me, but won't touch me. And so God was showing me that, hey, I just initiated one of your gifts a couple months ago, ma'am. And one of your gifts is to feel when somebody's spiritually attacking you so you can combat it. Right? Because in the back then, it was spiritually attacking. I couldn't feel it. It might have been seeing little inklings because God was protecting me that much. I might have seen little inklings in my life, but it wasn't like that. Even because I didn't know about none of this stuff. But as time went on, I began to know about certain things. I'm like, oh, man. And so when God had allowed me to start feeling it, that was one of my gifts that he had opened up for me to be able to combat the attacks, right? And so that's another thing. When these gifts are opening up in certain things, because they're opening, there's nothing you can do about it. When God think you ready and say you ready, you ready. I don't care how you feel about it. But we have to change our perception as well. And I know I keep saying I'm getting off of here, but God giving me more and more and more and more. And like I said, y'all, don't play these people game. Don't go up in Auntie May May's in them house on these holidays, playing with them up in their face, and they up there trying to take you out, and she mad as hell, and they mad as hell, and however many people out here is flipping, y'all, they slide down the couches. You hear me about your money, your inheritance, your spiritual gifts. They slide down. You got people as far as in your family. They know you spiritually gifted, calling you crazy, and then getting on these different platforms, pretending with your gifts that you've always been granted. Because it's people who watched you grow up and already have certain gifts and abilities. And as you grew up, they was placing obstacles in your way, and you just, God kept letting me hear. I was literally walking through the house singing this song, the Super Mario game. Do 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 do, and it got to the point where he like, what did you do? Where you get that song from? Like, why did you start singing that? It was something random, and God was letting me know it's time to go to the next level. This is the game. Let's play the game. Let's finish it. Finish them. And you know what's crazy? You want to know what's crazy? Is when I was a kid, I got some sleep in my eye. I've been running around all day, but when I was a kid, my uncle would literally set me down in front of the video games. My grandmother, because my grandmother had custody of me and my brother and my sister. And then my other brother and sister went over to my other grandmother's house, and the other one over to my granny house. That's another story. But my mom had ended up going to prison. My dad went to prison. And literally, you got people out here even know your story, still in your story, honey, presented to the world. They ain't even gave you a faltering chance to get out there and tell your story. You got your own family members who was writing books on your life and stealing your whole life story. But see, it ain't going to sell out. Because when God weren't ready for you to tell your story as well, that's another thing they've been doing. some family members been taking your lives, trying to make money off of it. Some of them been attacking you so you couldn't get to the place where you could speak out. Some people been trying to create these crazy scenarios so that when you went to go speak out, you be looked at as crazy as I don't know what, and so they can steal your money. Some people done went behind the scene and they got try to y'all. Let me tell you, I take care of my kids so well, so good. Always have took care of my daughter. My son, I ended up having my son. He passed away from SIDS. My kids was almost about 15 years apart. My son passed away 3 years ago. After that, my daughter ended up having a son. My daughter was only, she's about to be 18 this month. So at that time, she was 16 going on 17 years old. And they even try to pull my daughter in to do stuff towards me, calling CSB and all this, with knowing I take dang old good care of her. Y'all, it was so much stuff starting to go on within a small period amount of time. I had no idea what was going on. And I'm like, why is they doing all of this stuff? And there's people that was behind my daughter doing that as well. So, because they had promised her money. Because she thinks she know better than me. She know more than me. I know my mom don't know nothing, you know. She don't know what's going on. And I watched this lady and she said something about the lady had said something about like they bringing your kids in on it. In the mindset of the child, they telling your child, they introducing your child into this witchcraft and this voodoo and how to manifest with energy and all this stuff, right? And when the lady said it, a lot of things I already knew, but I didn't want to believe. But when God bring it up in again, and it's in a way where you can't ignore it because you already knew what it was, and somebody simply said out their mouth, you got to understand this stuff is real. And the lady said, yeah, because the child is young in mind. And so they telling, when you know your mama got this type of energy and you know we can do this and you know you can get money for doing this. And then the child gets involved in it and they got the mindset, yeah, my mama don't know. You know, I'm going to make the decision for her and I'm going to manifest with her energy and da. It states in the Bible, the lady, she put up a Bible verse. It said, do not basically be out here making bargains with other worldly things and these demons and these entities and these deities, and do not be signing your soul over to them. This is biblical. So that ain't my own words. It wasn't the lady own words. It was biblical. And so you got a lot of these people out here bringing your kids in, trying to get somebody close to you to siphon your energy. But see, the love ain't there like that no more. Because once you cross me, I give you enough time to straighten it out. And once I done been around you and you could have straightened it out, kids and all, and you gonna keep going? You trying to set me up? You talking to my ex? What is going on here? You got family members involved? And they trying to make you look a certain type of way so they can take your money. Let's do so much spell work and cause her and put her and pay her landlord too, so she can get kicked out of her house and make her look unstable. And then after we do that, we can after we find, because I told them I was moving, and so I had boxes packed. And so when the CSB lady came, I sat there and I talked to her. And what I did was I started to pull up pictures, and the lady was like, she's spoiled right, and the problem is she's spoiled, and other family members is trying to get her to do stuff. And what happened was they had tried to intertwine that lady into something in court, and that lady got up out of there. She said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry. Your case is closed. I don't know what's going on, what they doing." She said, "But I don't want nothing to do with it." Ma'am, it got something to do with them trying to steal money and inheritance. That's why it's all of a sudden. This ain't just start. We're no concern before then. And so this individual feel like if she can get my kids and I can get her inheritance, if I can make her unfit, then I can get her inheritance. It ain't working like that, homie. You going to jail. And the Most High God said, there's a hospice inside the prison walls. There's a hospice in jail. You might not get done correctly, but you are going to jail, and you will be in there so long that you will be introduced to hospice in the name of Jesus. I said what I said. Y'all, they went as far as, it's, you know how everybody, I don't care what family you is, white, black, orange, or green. You know, you got your family of your inner, your immediate family, and then you got those ones that's over there that you don't even talk to. Y'all, it was people my daughter was associating with that people I didn't even talk to, haven't talked to in years. I mean, you know how you see them type of people when you see them at a funeral or something like that, and you're like, "Hey, how you been? How you doing?" And you keep it moving. Like them type of people she was. So what is going on? And so what they was trying to do was purposely put me alone so they can drive out this narrative, so we can place her, seclude her, and it's a word for it, y'all, put her by herself We can and mess with her platforms and mess with her TikToks and her social medias and her YouTube. And we can mess with all these things. And we can draw whatever scenario we want. And we got her daughter as well to make her look like this. But see, in this day and age, God said the first should be last and the last will be first. And it's about to be some flower bringing and song singing. Well, I ain't in water. What's the other one? What's the other song? It's another song, y'all. Y'all, I can't. It's a song that's on Set It Off and that Boys and Man song, but I can't remember it. You know the one they sing at them funerals. It's going to be some song singing and flower bringing. When I tell you that God is not playing, you will get yours. And ain't nobody, not a court official, not a dirty cop that's tooting powder, not a family member, not a nobody, kids or nobody, is going to be able to stand in our ways in this day and era. Do not feed off into their bullcrap. They can go draw out whatever scenario that they want. They went as far as stealing my mail. My mail still ain't straightened out. I done filed a report and everything. My mail still ain't straightened out. I had a grandmother that passed that left me something, but I wasn't invited to the route table to figure out what it was that I got. But when I asked, they all said nothing. Nobody got nothing. My uncle passed away. He stayed with me 2 years before that event. He was only gone for a couple months. My son passed. He passed right after my son. But he was out on his own by then, within that 6-month period. Probably before then. They waited. They went down there and collected all this stuff. Didn't invite me or nothing. Not one took this man in and took care of him and told him don't pay me nothing. Get your stuff together and go back out there on your own. Pick yourself up. Why do I got a Benz on my credit that I never received, but it's sitting in front of my sister's house? And you mean to tell me that y'all gonna still keep trying to go with this stuff? Y'all still recording in the background? Y'all still gonna keep going? People is dropping. So all I'm saying, because I'm about to go, y'all. I done said it 80 times. I'm about to go. I'm telling y'all, for the people who has been on the up and up, for people who has been stolen from, for people who had tried to be, who been called crazy and they out here getting all this fake information about you with these fake social security cards, doing stuff all in your name and all that stuff. When I tell you that they're being watched by God, your angels, your ancestors, and probably some authority figures watching them. But not only that, it's not hard to track a paper trail and see who been getting what and go back and check some cameras. It's not that hard. I don't care if they got somebody to try to look like you to go do the dirt. They can go get whatever they want. They going down. They going down. I mean, it's so real that whoever's the head and the tail, one thing my uncle said to me, he said that the head and the tail of the snake has to be cut off in order for the rest of everything to crumble. The head and the tail is cut. Even if God got to call them over to the other realms to serve you and get it right. You understand me? A lot of people are being called home right now because they would not stop. And anybody think they going to come towards you and do something to you, they got another thing coming. Because you got something, they really trying it. They going all the way to the end. They going out with a bang. And a lot of them mentally ill anyways. They try to project off onto you what they already is. But it don't matter. Because you get what you got to, if God got to have song singing and some flower bringing. They going to come up off your stuff. But y'all have a good one. Good night. Got to go. Bye-bye. See y'all on another day. Love you.